you really work hard para sa dream na ito, that after college you will start working in a company. But the question here is, right after graduation ba ay employment lang ba ang option? Now, let's assume that after graduation you decided to work in a company. So let's be realistic. After college, maybe some of you might be earning around 17,000 pesos per month. Probably some of you I might be earning, let's say, less than that. Probably 12, 10,000. Or maybe some of you might be earning more than that, 25, 30, 50,000. Pero I'm sure yung ibang nakikinig dito na nag-work ay mapapangiti dahil napakaliit ng probability na sa unang mong trabaho you might be earning around 50 to 80,000. So the question here is, let's assume that you'll be earning 17,000 pesos. So, radyo yung deduction. Merong tax, may SSS, may PhilHealth, may pag-ibig. Of course, kakain ka. May budget ka sa food mo everyday, merienda, tanghalian, merienda sa hapon. Pamasahe, kung nasa Manila ka naman, may renta pa, may personal na mga expenses, of course, yung load mo. So, magkano na naman matitira? Ito ang katotohanan sa lahat ng nagtatrabaho. And because of this, ang nangyayari, maraming Pilipino ay ganito ang nangyayari sa buhay niya. Sa trabaho, sweldo, mabayad ng mga expenses, kuryente, ilaw, food, grocery, and then kulang ang sweldo, kinakailangan umutang, then magtatrabaho ulit, and then may sweldo ulit, and then uutang ulit, and then the cycle continues. And that's the reason why after 30 years, yung mga nagtrabaho, nag-retire na, ay yung kanyang naipon, ay preparation lamang pag siya ay nagsasakit na. My dear students, this is the reality of life. And my objective right now is for me to be able to inspire you that employment is just one option right after graduation, and starting your own company. And it can be one of your options too. Good morning, my name is Joey Espiritu, and I'm here to share to you my personal experience in running a company. So I'll be sharing to you 3 stories of my life. The first part, before the pandemic, ano yung business ko, paano ako nagsimula. The second story I will share to you, habang nagpa-pandemic, ano yung ginawa namin. And the third part is, I'll be sharing to you my reflection about this full experience. So let's start first doon sa first story ko, my entrep story before the pandemic. I'm happy to share to you that 17 years ago, I started a small company. The name of the company is Robo Diseño. We started with just 3,000 capital. 3,000 capital. And ano yung ginawa namin dito sa Robo Diseño? Napapayusin kung gaano kaliit ang business namin. By the way, girlfriend ko pa lang noon, yung asawa ko na ngayon. So this photo shows kung gaano kaliit yung business namin, starting with just 3,000 capital. From there, ito yung ginawa namin. Nagkaroon kami ng iba't ibang mga designs na ginagawa. Meron kami mga ginagawa for events, for mga birthday party, and iba't ibang mga events na nakikita namin, ang market namin is puro sa balloons. So after 7 years of doing balloon business lamang, my wife and I decided to start another company. And the name of the company is Tent King. We started with just one tent. Nagpaparenta lang kami ng mga tents sa Tagaytay. From one tent, naging 2, naging 3, naging 5, naging 8, and then hindi kami nag-focus lang sa Tagaytay, but we started penetrating other areas. We started penetrating Calabarzon, Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Northern Luzon, and Bicol region. So here are some photos ng mga previous events namin na sa may Central Luzon, so tayo ang nag-provide ng mga tents doon. And then this one is in Baguio, this one is in Bicol, yung tents natin doon ay naparenta rin din natin doon. This one is in Ilocos, this one is in Tarlac, and then of course in Baguio again. And we did not stop. Ang ginawa namin, we went to China and we talked to some suppliers doon. And fortunately enough, magkaroon tayo ng partner na Chinese supplier na kung saan dito tayo bumili ng mga dome tents natin. Napaparent din natin sa iba't ibang events. even corporate events. Nagkaroon na rin din tayo ng air condition tests. So it means the company from one test, we continuously expand the business in a short period of time. So fortunate tayo na nagkaroon tayo ng chance to serve, katulad itong sa photo na to, wedding ni Chito Miranda, and then wedding ni Rochelle Pangilinan. And then hindi lang kami nag-focus lamang sa rental. So this time we started selling tents. So we started fabricating our own tents and focusing sa mga ibang kliyente na they don't want to rent but they want to buy tents. So yung iba ginagamit para sa kotse, yung ito naging kliyente na natin sila Sada and some private companies. So that's the story of Tent2. The next one, simultaneously we started another company, and the name of the company is Manang Ace Catering. It's a full catering service company in which before 8 years ago, kaya lang namin mga 35-50 packs. I am sure isa sa mga ang nakakaalam ng story nito ay si Mag-Test Tilapia dahil nakita niya kung gano'n pa kaliit ang company nito. After 7-8 years, this is now Manang Ace Catering. So we can now cater up to 1,000 packs. This one is in Lasal, and ang specialty namin ay weddings. So for how many years, ito ang naging focus ng kumpanya natin. From 35 packs lang in one day, this time kaya na natin mag-event, mag-weddings, hanggang 4 na events sa isang araw. So we continuously expand the business at naniniwala kami napakalaki pa ng potential na ito. But again, hindi pa rin kami tumigil mag-asawa, and we started another company. And this company is for rent. It's a chair rental business. I started this company 5 years ago, which is 300 chairs. So again, with the same aggressiveness, from 300 chairs this time, we now have 6,000 chairs. We have rustic folding chairs, we have white resin Tiffany chairs, we have white folding chairs, we have cross-back chairs, we have crystal chairs, white resin chairs, and so on and so forth. So meaning, from 300 chairs, we did not stop na doon lang sa Tagaytay, and we started penetrating other areas. Ngayon, nasa Calabarzon na tayo, nasa Metro Manila na tayo, at nasa Central Luzon tayo. This is an event of Ayay de las Alas, tayo nag-supply ng chairs niya, and then an event of Rochelle Pangilinan. So, ang nangyari 54 ay hindi lamang kami nag-focus lamang sa mga maliliit na negosyante, but this time we started penetrating mga caterers, mga event space, na kung saan nag-rent na lang sila ng upuan instead of buying their own chairs. So after nag-run itong si Foren, hindi pa rin ako tumigil, and I started another company, and the name of the company is Food Chow. So nagkaroon kami ng restaurant business sa Silang, dalawa yung branches na yan, pero hindi kami tumigil dito, so we started nag-deliver na kami ng food. So, we offered it sa mga events too, sa mga ibang corporate accounts. So, simultaneously, noong nag-round itong apat na kumpanya ito, we experienced, before pandemic, na nag-average kami ng 30 to 50 events in one day. So, it's a very challenging experience, pero we really enjoyed the whole journey. And ano masabi? Nagkaroon ng challenges na dumating sa aming kumpanya. Year 2020, January, pumutok ang taon. One of the most challenging days ng aming buhay. Bakit? May mga nasilang tests during that time. Maraming refund, maraming nag-cancel ng events, maraming hindi nagtuloy, specifically sa may Calabarzon area. But, again, the typical na Joe is still that hard, hindi kami tumigil at lumakad pa rin kami. And then habang active na kami at nakaka-momentum na ulit at bumabangon na ulit, yung Paulo Pasaden, last March 2020, nagkaroon ng lockdown. So, una, hindi pa namin masyadong siniseryoso because we're thinking, siguro saglit lang po, siguro masasolve ito, pero nakaka-malungkot, ang kwento, 1 month, 2 months, walang events, walang nakapasok na benta, sarado ang kutsaw, walang catering, walang rumerenta ng tents, walang rumerenta ng upuan. So the big question here is, ano itong nakagimik? There were days that I thought na magsasara na yung kumpanya. There are days na parang di makatulog, alas 3, alas 4 na magkaling araw, at yung nakatingin ka pa rin sa langit at iniisip mo nila ano nang mangyayari after this. After 17 years, magsasara na ba ang kumpanya? Yung mahagalang panahon ng pinaghirapan me to share to you my entrance story during the pandemic this time. So instead of magsarap ng pala, we pivot, we change the business model, we change everything. Kasi naniniwala ko, this time is not about my family alone. It's not about Zoe's community. It's always about paano yung tao ko, paano yung mga tao umaasa sa akin. Hindi ko pwede sila pagpagdaan, iwan sa ere. Para hindi kami magagandang dadalawa lang ang anak ko. Pero paano yung mga tao umaasa sa akin. So instead, we went back sa operation, and this is what happened. For 10 from 10 rental business, we pivot and start focusing lang on manufacturing tests. So, nung nag-start na kami mag-manufacture, we changed our strategy. Instead of focusing sa events, we started focusing sa mga hospitals na nangangailangan ng tests. At dito lang pumasok na may mga hospitals na bumibili ng tests to be used as an isolation tent or quarantine tent. And then we are so happy to share with you that last year, nung namimigay si Angel of ng mga tents, tayo ang isa sa mga suppliers na. So from this, patuloy kami nakakabenta ng mga tents sa iba't ibang areas. So nakabenta kami sa Cabanatuan City. When you go to St. Luke's, ating din ang tents doon. San Miguel Corporation bought tents from us at pinamimigay ito sa LGU. Then we were able to sell our tents sa Tarlac. Then nakabenta kami sa Leyte, nakabenta kami sa Batangas, nakabenta kami sa Antipolo, nakabenta kami sa Zambales. Then you go to Makati, the tents there ang sa atin. And one of the highlights of this is when you go to Manong Filipino, yung Medco back sila ng system. It is empty to produce those tents. And for us, ay first time this year na nag-export na tayo ng tents sa Butuan. I'm happy to share that story with you. We did not stop. Hindi kami na tumigil na maghanap ng solusyon. But the question this time is, sir, okay, you are helping people. How about the food company? So what we did, again, pivot again. Let me share to you the story of Food Shop. So si Food Shop, alam niyo lahat na isa siyang restaurant business o food delivery business. Dahil sarado at pinos ko na yung restaurant, so I have no choice but to look for another opportunity. Kawawa yung aking shop, kawawa yung aking mga tao doon. So I need to look for ways para magkaroon ng negosyo. So instead of running the restaurant business, we pivot and become an FMCG distributor or fast-moving consumer goods distributor. I'm happy to share with you, tayo na ngayon ang exclusive distributor ng Nutri-Asia sa buong Cavite. We're handling that to Silver Swan, Mantola, CLC, and so on and so forth. Another one is we are now the exclusive distributor of One Casing in South Luzon. So we're handling Mama Sita, we're handling MY Sangria, Bingo products, we're also handling Lucky Meat and Sit Canton, we're also handling Skyfish and other products. Another company is we are now the exclusive distributor of Palayo Fats. We're handling the whole South Luzon, distributing their products. And lastly, we are now the distributor of Pepsi para sa Cavite. So tungtungod ng mga story shop, hindi ako tumigil. Hindi kami nag-close ng Batanga, umayon na ako. We look for ways para magkaroon pa rin ng benta. And after 10 months, we started last October lamang dito sa distribution business. I am happy and proud to share to you na sa Food Shop, we were able to attain the highest sales sa buong South Luzon, and we were awarded itong mga performance nito. Sa Pepsi, nag-number 1 tayo sa opening of new accounts, and then top 2 sa buong South Luzon. And in terms sa performance sa Mongoose, nag-top 2 tayo sa buong Pilipinas. It feels good to share to you that story kasi in 10 months time, we did not stop working. We worked really hard. Ang dali i-kwento ito, pero wala tayong idea kung paano namin tinrabaho ito. So let's move to forward. Foreign, from rental ng shares, alam natin wala naman re-rental na kukuha sa ganitong panahon. So we pivot to, instead of rental, we started selling shares. So this time, nakapag-deliver na kami sa Boracay, nakapag-deliver na kami sa Tarlac, nakapag-deliver na kami sa Ilocos. There are still some areas na kung saan may mga interested pa rin bumili ng kukuha. So instead of focusing sa rental ng shares, we are now continuously manufacturing our own shares and selling it to different customers. We still did not stop our operation. Instead, nagpatuloy para lamang magkaroon ng hanap buhay ang aming mga empleyado. Lastly, si Manang A ng pinaka-pinamahan ko, ay unti-unti na pinapayagan mag-events, meron mga 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, unti-unti kaming nakabalik. This is my story during the pandemic. You know what? I have a choice. So thank you pa lamang kasi pwede naman kami mabuhay na. Napakasimple naman ang buhay namin mag-asawa. So ito naman isa na ang parent, ang punsyaw at ang managay. At pwede ko naman sabihin na, oh, bahala na kayo sa buhay niyo. Ganun po na kayo ng trabaho. At importante, masave ko muna kung anong meron kayo. Pero one of the things na naging reflection ko from this experience, it is during the crisis na natetest ang tunay na values ng isang leader. Sabi ko nga, this pandemic will end. Pero kung ano man kanyang ginawa mo sa mga tao na, this people will never forget. So instead na kami magtago at magpumulong doon sa comfort zone namin, hinahanap namin yung mahirap for us to make a difference. Not just for our employees, but also for our community. Allow me to share to you my first story, which is taking the lead. Not just focusing on your own personal interest, but this time focusing in helping others. Kung paano interaction, instead na kami ay mag-book sa aming mga opisina dahil sa dami ng cancellation, I ask my team, let's make a difference. Mag-luto tayo, mag-share tayo ng ating mga resources, and let's start helping yung community. Ito yung mga photos na ginagawa namin. Nahanap kami ng campaign doon sa mga cancellation at mga ribbon. Still, we decided to help our community and make a difference. The person na nasa loob ng truck ay may silang graduate. Siya ang isa sa mga unang nahula para mag-lead ng team niya. And currently, he is now the general manager of Foreign. Some of my employees ay pumilas na kahit walang bayad kasi nakita nila yung vision of making a difference. The person na nakagrade ay like silang graduate din. Siya ang finance manager ngayon ng Punsyaw at isa sa mga katuwang ko during that time in helping the community. So during this period, hindi namin pinisip na kami ay nagkikilatan o nagkasapatan. Instead, we decided that we use our company to help other people. Nung tinumaan naman ang COVID, hindi kami tumigil na tumulong sa aming empleyado dahil na walang sila mahanap po yung iba namin mga pen crew, yung aming foreign crew, yung aming waiters. So what we did ay nagbibigay kami ng mga relief tools sa kanila to make sure na meron silang additional support habang wala pa silang pinipita. So ilang beses namin ito ginawa. Hindi lang sa empleyado, we also help yung ating community from the communities, sa mga hospital, sa mga frontliners natin na hindi tayo tumigil na magbigay ng kaunting tulong natin. So what did I learn from this experience? What did I learn from this experience I would like to share with you? Sa tatlong storya, first story that I shared to you, I mentioned kung gaano aligit yung aming kapital. So, hindi siya naging dahilan na meron na kami patinong po na doon kami nagsimula. The second story I shared to you, may pandemic, may problema, pero hindi kami nag-focus doon sa problema. Kasi naniniwala kami na in every crisis, there are opportunities. So instead of focusing sa problema at mag-move on at mag-emotional, set aside the emotion and focus in identifying opportunities. So the third story, the question here is, ano ba talaga yung values ko? Ano ba talaga yung purpose ko? Pwede ba ang isipin ko na lang yung anak ko at yung asawa ko at yung mga ibang empleyado na mahigit 200 ay wala mo namin pakailan sa kanila? Kasi marami naman nagsasarang ng niya. Siguro po, alam po naman yun. But no, these challenges hindi tayo pamiligan. Instead, we focus in this reflection. Kung you lack capital, my solution here and my reflection here is, for as long as you love what you're doing, you can always start a company. Kung mahal mo pa yung ginagawa mo, kahit anong pwede mo simula, kahit maliit na kapital, pero pwede ka makapagsimula. Kung magaling ka magluto, yan ang kurso mo, then start a food business. Start small and dream big. Kung magaling kang gumawa ng website, please start small and dream big. Kung ikaw ay nasa tourism industry, why not come back to your own business? Anong po, sasabihin mo, sir, sa lahat tayo mga travel tours, is yung kung ano yung opportunity. Use the passion that you have right now. Nang hindi ka i-give up ng basta-basta dahil may problema, dahil may pandemic, at ang sasabihin mo, oh, wala na akong maisip, ayoko na, give up na ako. No, this is the time that you should fight. You will not give up. Kinakailangan kung kumahanin mo yung sa passion mo na mahanap mo yung solusyon ng need na market mo yan. And the last story I mentioned a while ago is the unknown na purpose mo sa buhay mo. Maybe you're asking right now, bakit siya nag-post ng Pilates mo? Actually, hindi lang yung aksidente. It is meant to happen sa'yo. Now, the question here is, ano yung calling mo? Ano yung pagagawin mo dyan? Kung magsisimula ka ng negosyo, it's not just about you. It is for you to help other people. One day you will have your own employees. You will share your blessing to them. One day you will have more money. You will be able to help more people. So understanding your calling ay napaka-importante kasi this time the motivation is not just the money. The motivation is understanding your why. Bakit ka ba nagtatrabaho? Bakit ka ba gusto mo mag-negosyo? In my case, the drive is not just the money. The drive here is to make a difference on my employees. Yun ang nagbibigay sa akin ng motivation araw-araw. Bakit kailangan ko magsimula ng negosyo? Bakit ko kailangan lumaban? Kasi may isang pamilya na sa akin na umaasa na may 4 na anak at yung sinasweldo niya ang buhay sa pamilya niya. That is the reason why I'm working really hard. You should find that why. Bakit hindi na kailangan simulan ng negosyo nito? And from this reflection, I realized LTU stands for love, if you love what you believe, and that is passion. Mas hindi ka nakafocus lamang sa problema, hindi ka nakafocus ka sa solution. And we have to understand your goal. LTU will always take the lead. Majority ng negosyo ko, ang mga leaders ko, ang managers ko, ang mga heads ko ay puro Lyceum graduates. And I'm happy to share with you na sa dami na nangyayari, more companies are still standing. Why? Because we're taking the lead. We're taking the lead in making a difference in our employees. We're taking the lead in giving gifts to our employees. We're taking the lead to celebrate when we have victories. We take the lead in giving rewards to our employees. But sometimes, we have fun. Magsayaw naman minsan, o kaya mag-yoga, o mag-zumba kami, naandun kami to share that story with them. And one of the most important lessons na natutunan ko dito sa pang-negosyo, it's not about showing a speed. It's always creating another leader. That's part of your job as an entrepreneur. Kapag naging araw, hindi importante na ikaw parating magaling. Ang importante is paano ka makakabuo ng panibagong leader. And then one day you are dreaming for them, but they can also start their own company. And you know what? Isa sa mga naka-highlight ng story ng ito is, nung una, ang iniisip ko, it's always about my dream. Gusto ko ng bahay, ng kotse, gusto ko na makatrabaho. But there's always a different story. I want to dream for my employees this time. And I will not stop hanggang kaya ko pang palaki na kumpanya na ito at kaya na matulungan ko sila doon. One day you will be invited to share your story with other people. So they'll be inspired also to start your own company. You make celebrities, you make successful businessmen. One day you'll be invited by Juan Negosyo as a mentor naman and to share your knowledge sa ibang tao. Of course, the most important thing is hindi ka lang successful sa business mo, kundi mahusay kang tatay sa mga anak mo at mahusay kang asawa sa iyong asawa. Kasi kung ano success mo sa kanila, hindi ka nagpo-focus sa core mo, it doesn't matter your success. I would like to end my argument sharing to you on the difference between success and significance. Success is attaining your dreams. And significance is helping others attain their dreams. Start your own company. Don't just focus on your dreams alone. And start making a difference on the lives of other people. With that, thank you very much, and God bless.